We're going to start with our questions now, and I've got a few, and I'll get started, and then we'll go right through our list today, but there's quite a few. The bipartisan infrastructure bill did quite a few things and directed it, and one of them was the ability to produce cleaner energy anywhere else than they do in the world. That's our main goal. To get that done, we need to stop wasteful natural gas flaring and vetting and all the different things that we do with methane. The infrastructure law provided DOI with the authority to accelerate permitting for gathering pipelines. I understand the reason that we weren't taking that methane off is because we couldn't do the pipelines to take it from the wellhead back to market. And so they were flaring it and getting, it was damned if you do and damned if you don't, and couldn't get to the market. So what have you all been able to do? Because when you implement the gathering line permitting authority from this bill, the bipartisan infrastructure bill, that should have happened. Has those permits started so you can remove that methane from being at vetting or flared into the air?
Thank you very much, Senator Manchin. Agree completely that part of the solution to prevent the waste of natural gas resources, which again, when we're talking about public lands, belong to the American taxpayer, is an infrastructure question. And establishing gathering lines to collect that gas and bring it to central facilities and ultimately to market is part of the solution. And so appreciate very much the new authority under the infrastructure law to facilitate the permitting of gathering lines. Part of, and this is part of the broader story with respect to bill implementation, is making adjustments both in our process and as well as with operators. And so we have.
Has there been any permits for any?
Yeah, we've had some examples, including
North
Colorado.
I think North Dakota, Senator Hoven can speak probably more to this than I can, but I'm understanding they've done a lot of flaring up there, and they have a lot of vetting going on, venting, if you will. Have they started getting some permits to move the methane off?
So part of it is working with operators to adjust to the new opportunity, but we have seen examples of using this categorical exclusion to permit gathering.
Let me say this with my time left. First of all, the bills that we have done, and I know especially the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, has been touted as a environment bill, basically a enviro bill. And I think for people to know what that bill really did, it was an all-in energy policy, basically, that you cannot do one without the other. So the Mineral Leasing Act already required quarterly oil and gas sales for onshore. The Inflation Reduction Act mandated certain offshore lease sales over the next year. The president makes a comment and says basically that there will be no more drilling. If there's no more drilling, there's no more wind, there's no more solar, there's no more anything. And that's why the two are tied together, but no one really knows that because no one has touted as an all-in energy policy. And so I don't know how you all comply with that when if you're hearing from the administration that no more drilling, but on the other hand, it's unable to do wind or solar leasing or rights of way without first doing oil and gas leasing. That's in the bill. That was in the bill. So I've been happy to see that you all reinstated the Gulf sale from last year, and we'll be going forward with a mandated lease sales this coming year. So I don't know how you all are navigating that and where your direction has been, or is that just a misstatement?
So we very much view, as laid out in the IRA, our renewable energy programs, both onshore and offshore, as well as our oil and gas leasing programs, as connected.
You all understand how how it's connected, that basically it's an all-in energy policy. We're going to do the fossil in the cleanest fashion possible to provide the energy we need today while we're investing in energy that we'll need for the future.
That's exactly how we view it.
Okay. The bipartisan infrastructure law took large steps to address the critical minerals and our vulnerability in the supply chains through the smart investments and requiring Interior to improve the mine permitting process. Can you commit to addressing these overdue items in a timely fashion to get back on track? Because I'm understanding we still have critical mineral projects, lithium mines that are still on hold forever. Have they been moving in a positive way? Have you basically have any of them that have been through the permitting process or going to be starting production anytime soon in the United States?
With respect to the reports called for under the bipartisan infrastructure law, those are in progress. I chair the interagency working group along with the Energy Department, very focused on these issues.
Very short timeline that we're trying to get back in production so that we can meet the needs of the market, and right now we're depending on China.
Yeah, and with respect to lithium projects on public lands, there are a couple significant projects in front of us, both in Nevada, that are moving forward, and you're going to see announcements on those in the coming weeks.
Thank you, Senator Brasso.